I interned in 1981 for Senator Kennedy on the Labor Committee. I got that internship because a professor at my college knew his legislative director. I really have to say, every single job I've ever had has been because I had that internship.
And I did a couple unpaid internships while I was a student at Northwestern. The first was actually at the World Health Organization in Chile, and that actually landed me my next internship the next summer in Buenos Aires, doing research at a think tank there, which then kind of cascaded into an internship here at EPI the summer after I graduated. So it was kind of a direct train. I don't believe I would have been able to have the job I have today if it weren't for my first internship.
But I remember at the time thinking, this is really unfair to people who really don't have the means to do this. And I think I even wrote an editorial in our paper that there ought to be paid internships, because it just struck me at that time, and again, it was a long time ago, how fundamental it was to have access to these kinds of opportunities. And here we are, so many years later, with still not that kind of a program in place.
And it was an incredible opportunity overseas to work on child and infant health. And really the only way that I could afford to do that was because Northwestern had a dedicated grant program for students who wanted to do work abroad. So that was really, really vital for me. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to afford that.
Internships now are, it's a fundamental stepping stone into any number of careers. The idea that you know somebody and that you've had some relevant professional experience is the first thing people are looking for. So many young people are getting through college having to borrow enormous amounts of money. That's changed a great deal from when the balance on grants and loans has shifted. So, people are making choices based on economics and the ability to pay back those loans and the kind of debt that one incurs. It's going to be very hard to make a choice to take an unpaid internship that would help you in the long run over something that's paid that is maybe not the best use of your skills. And unfortunately, those kinds of choices, which I totally understand why people would make, are probably going to hurt young people in the long run. If you look at statistics, the ability for someone to rise up from a low-income background into a modest middle-class background is we're on a downward slide in terms of that ability. So we really need to look at innovative solutions to solve that problem.
So Catherine and I have come up with a proposal to provide financial support for low-income college students who want to pursue internships. Given that they're so important, and yet so many of them are unpaid, especially in government and nonprofits, we want to make sure that low-income students have the same opportunities that we have been afforded. Our proposal would create a system of subsidies for these low-income students that they could apply to through their local financial aid office and their work-study office on their individual campus.
Our goal for this program is to use existing infrastructure and existing knowledge at local campuses and universities to encourage students to do public service and to do more internships and eventually pursue those careers.